Hi everyone, it's Carrie, aka Nerdy Girl Creates, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. We're going to talk What If Episode 6. So, warning, if you have not watched it yet and you do not want it spoiled, turn this video off and go watch it and then come back. Alright, you've been warned. So, first impressions, what did I think of this episode? What if Killmonger saved Tony Stark? Honestly, bored. Yeah, I was bored. The other problem I had was I feel like the show has strayed from its original concept that it presented in the first episode, which was just one small change can completely knock everything off the timeline and go in a different direction. For example, in the first episode, Peggy chose to stay down instead of going upstairs to sit while they were administrating the super soldier serum, which led to her end up becoming the super soldier. Like, the last 3 episodes kind of feel like they decided to, just depart from that. Now it's like you're just going to accept that, somehow Killmonger came across plans from the Ten Rings to kidnap Tony, and he just happened to show up at the right location and save Tony Stark. It's not like Tony Stark's in the car, and instead of, going left, he went right. It's now suddenly a character who wasn't even there in the movie is there. I don't know. I kind of like the original concept of just one small change ends up changing the entire story. But that's me. I mean, I know they didn't do it too much even in the Doctor Strange episodes, which I would say was my favorite, but I guess the change in that would be he picked her up and convinced her to come with him to the award show. The other thing is Killmonger still pretty much has the same plan. I mean, I think it would have been more interesting if they went a different route where instead of him continuing on to make war with everybody else in the world, and you know who I mean by everybody else, maybe Stark taught him something and then he realized that, maybe he's not correct about everything and instead decides to step up and be a hero in place of Stark, who's now not going to be Iron Man because of the events that take place. But instead, they still have him on this mission that, his people are oppressed. He's got to, get revenge on everybody, even if they weren't involved in doing any oppression. The stuff you're seeing and hearing about all the time. So he uses Stark. He, gets, not only does he save Stark, but he gets in his good graces by exposing Obadiah. And then convinces Stark to create this robot prototype, which is pretty much the thing from Iron Man 2. I don't know why we're bringing that back. I thought we were kind of people wanted Iron Man 2 to just disappear into oblivion, because a lot of people seem to not like Iron Man 2. So Killmonger convinces Tony to build these robots, but tells him he needs the vibranium in order to make it work. So then you remember that scene in Age of Ultron when they go to stop Ultron from getting the vibranium off Klaue? Well, instead of the Avengers and Ultron, you have Rhodey there on the orders of Stark, which, I don't know, for some reason I don't see Rhodey going through with this, but then again, it's just me. So he's there with his soldiers, including Killmonger, negotiating with Klaue to take the vibranium. Then Black Panther shows up and fights and pretty much stops Rhodey and tells him, "My battle is not with you. I'm here just for the vibranium to bring it back to Wakanda." Well, Killmonger sneaks up on him and uses one of Stark's devices and kills him. Alright. Then he kills Rhodey for witnessing everything. Goes back and tells Stark that it was the Wakandans who did it, so he could start a war with Wakanda. Tony builds the robots. Meanwhile, Pepper and Happy are a little suspicious about everything. Well, Killmonger convinces General Ross to let him lead the robots into Wakanda. They get there, and of course Killmonger kills Klaue, brings his body, just like he did in the movie, drops it at the feet of the Dormammu, and tells them that, who he is. And at this point, T'Challa's father's alive, and, Shuri is about, 10? 10 years old, in my opinion. Now, this is where it gets really weird for me, because the dad is just, welcome, open arms, and welcome Killmonger back to Wakanda. The mother and Shuri are suspicious. So is what's her name? The general Okoye. Well, in this, the queen is actually the general. So I don't know what Okoye's position is, because that's not ever clarified. Well, the father welcomes him back in and agrees to his plan to stop the robots, not knowing it's all Killmonger's plan. And makes himself look good and great and convinces the queen and Okoye he's the good guy, and they stop the robots. And then the father out of nowhere decides to give him the powers of the Black Panther. Even though, like, at one point they're in the throne room and Killmonger says, I would do anything to avenge my father, and he's looking at the king. If I was the king and knowing what I did, I'd be a little cautious with giving this guy some ultimate power. Well, when he crosses over into the other realm where he sees all the Black Panthers, T'Challa confronts him and tells him that, you stole this power, and sooner or later it's going to come back and bite you in the ass. Well, it ends with General Ross giving Pepper orders about going in to, I guess, drop a nuke on Wakanda. That's what it sounded like. Well, she goes back to her office, and there's Shuri, 10-year-old Shuri, sitting there waiting for her, because, that's the other part I missed. Killmonger did kill Stark because Stark figured out who really killed Rhodey. I kind of feel like this would have been a perfect opportunity for this episode to, like, have Killmonger, instead of going the path of the villain, maybe go the path of the hero. That's what a what-if to me would be. Maybe have him, like, realize that, not everybody's, like, out to oppress him. And have him then maybe reunite with the Wakandans and maybe forgive the king for the death of his father, and have him earn the title of Black Panther. I don't feel like this overnight war was an earn, especially when he sits there and he keeps hinting about how he wants to get revenge for his father, and the king's just sitting there staring at him blankly. Not my favorite episode, but I will say not the worst. Like I said, I feel like they're kind of straying off what the concept of a what if is. Like, in the beginning it was, what if somebody just made the wrong turn or made a different decision than what they did originally? Or even, like, maybe the hero goes down the path of the villain, or vice versa, like they did with Doctor Strange. This just kind of felt like it was still Killmonger doing the same thing, he just took a different route. It wasn't much of a what if, in my opinion. I guess that's what I'm trying to say. It felt more like Killmonger just came up with a better plan. Technically, if you think about it, yeah, he just came up with a better plan. Getting good with the rich super genius, use his tech to take down your cousin, make it all look like the Wakandans did it, build an army of robots you know how to disassemble, go back to Wakanda and make yourself look like the long-lost relative with the plan to save everything, and then take over the mantle of the Black Panther, and of course eventually it'll be the mantle of the king. But I'm sitting here going, it just didn't feel like a what if. It just felt like, okay, Killmonger just had a better plan this time around. To me, it would have been more interesting to see what would happen if Killmonger went the path of the hero. Or maybe if we wanted to focus on Stark, yeah, maybe Rhodey became Iron Man. I don't know. It just didn't feel like a what if. And I think they also missed out on an opportunity to kind of like cross over the episodes. Because if you went with the route where Killmonger became the hero and he's finally home at Wakanda, you could have had then, instead of him killing T'Challa, T'Challa was out in the universe being Star-Lord, and then shows up and is welcome home, and then Killmonger feels threatened. I just think it would have made a better episode. So tell me, what did you think? Did you like episode 6? Leave a comment down below. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And also hit that notification button so you'll know when my next video is up. And I will see you on the next video. Bye.